Well, Kai Kara France, we've now got your next fight after a pretty emphatic first round knockout of Cody Garbrandt. You'll be fighting Askar Askarov. I think he's number one ranked, number two ranked at the moment, behind Davison Figueiredo. I thought you might have been able to slot in and get that, be the backup and at UFC 270. Obviously, you're back in New Zealand now, so that's not the case. Can you just tell us how this fight came together?
Yeah, so it's nice to be back in New Zealand, but I was willing to stay in Vegas if the UFC said to me, "Hey, we want you. Do you want to be the backup?" I told Dana White. I saw him at the Derek. I didn't see him at the Derek Lewis fight, but I messaged him before it saying, "Hey Dana, thanks for the bonus. I wanna. I'll be your guy if you need me to step up and make weight." For the title fight in January. He said, love that. I always love to see that when fighters are willing to step up. And he just said, we'll stay in touch. So it didn't happen, but I got the next best thing, I guess, with the number one contender fight against Askar Askarov. Tough Dagestan, Russian. He's undefeated in the UFC, undefeated in his pro career. He's had one draw to the current champion, Brandon Moreno, coming off a lot of decisions, and just missed weight in his last fight against Benavidez. So that's probably why he hasn't been given the title shot, even though he's been beating most guys in that top five. So great test for me. I want to test myself against the best in the world, and I just don't want any excuses this time. Once I take out this guy, I want to be the next in line for the title. So I didn't want to, I said in my post-fight interviews that I would wait for the title. And then I told them that I would step in if need be. And my mindset's kind of changed. It's just, I want to stay active. I want to stay current and stay relevant. And the best way to do that is just keep fighting. So I haven't really stopped training since the fight. I ran a marathon before Christmas in Hawaii. I was doing runs up the mountains and constantly just staying ready, keeping my weight down. I could make weight next week. That's kind of where I'm at physically. So I'm in my queue right now. I've got a bike, I've got all these toys, got my son to keep me busy. And it's work continues as usual. So best way to start 2022 is just pick up where we left off, which is pretty much no rest, just straight back to it. When I get out of the Christchurch and back up to Auckland, I'll be jumping straight back into camp. And, I feel refreshed. I feel like this is what I need to do. Keep this momentum, keep the ball rolling. And this year you'll be seeing me fight for the title and win the flyweight world championship. So that's what's motivating me. That's what's keeping me, keeping that fire alight underneath me, just because I know it's right there. So that's why I've managed to keep my weight down low, which is rare for me. Usually I blow up after fights and I'm back up to lightweight, but this time I've been able to keep my weight down, and Jordi's happy because it makes his job a lot easier. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited for this matchup. He's been talking a bit on Twitter saying, stop running for me, don't be a chicken. And I was on holiday, so I'm not going to reply to this. I'll deal with it when I get back into MIQ and back in New Zealand. And now the fight's in front of us, and now we've got a date set. So March 26th is actually my birthday. I'll be turning 29, so it's going to be in Columbus, Ohio. Never been there, but my fan base is getting bigger in America, so it's going to be great fighting in front of a packed stadium. I'd rather fight there than at the Apex. And just continue what we've been doing. I want to get another first round knockout if I can, and make another statement. And then, like I said, no excuses for a title shot.
When you look at the flyweight title picture, outside of the two who are fighting for it this month, obviously yourself, Askar, and Alexandre Pantoja, probably the three names that, any one of you probably has a right to a title shot right now. Like you said, Askar Askarov missed weight his last time out. Were you a little bit surprised they didn't put yourself and Pantoja as the number one contender fight?
Yeah, there might be a clause in because Alexander Pantoja was offered the title fight before in December, he was supposed to be on the same card as all of us, and then he got injured, and then they pushed the whole title fight back to January. So there might be a clause to say that he's, I guess, next in line since he was given it and then he got injured. So I feel like that's kind of what's happened. And now me and Askar Askarov are the number one contenders. So you could make a case for everyone in that top 5 and why I should be in front of them. Brandon Royval, number 5, coming off 2 losses. Obviously, he beat me, but he's coming off 2 losses, so he doesn't deserve a title shot. Number 4, Alex Perez missed weight his last fight, and the whole fight was cancelled, coming off a loss against Figueiredo, so he doesn't deserve a title shot. The number 3 guy, which is Askar Askarov, he missed weight his last fight, so you're not going to really reward someone for missing weight. Obviously, coming off decisions as well, hasn't finished a fight in the UFC. Been winning against great guys, but not finishing. Alexander Pantoja, injured, so he's been a bit inactive. He's probably got the best case. And then Figueiredo is obviously fighting Brandon Moreno. So we made a case for that in front of to the matchmakers, Mick and Sean and to Dana. So yeah, I guess this is the next best thing to get the number one contender fight. And I can showcase my wrestling. I know this is going to be no secret. He's going to try to take me down. He even replied to a tweet. He was talking a lot. I replied to Henry saying, "You don't want that Alex Volkanovski fight. Don't put your hand up. Stay retired." And he said, "Don't worry about me. Worry about Askar Askarov." And then Askar messaged me saying, "I'm going to shut this guy up." And then he said, "How is he going to stop my wrestling?" Every fight starts standing. That means it starts in my ballpark. So you got to get me down, and then if you get me down, you got to keep me down. So we'll be doing our homework. We'll be doing everything we can to make sure we neutralize this guy's wrestling and put him away. It's not the first Dagestan fighter that we've had to game plan for in our camps. So we'll be more than ready. But that's what motivates me, having people doubt me, that like they did in my last fight against Cody Garbrandt. I was the underdog, and it was his first time at flyweight. It wasn't mine. So I made a lot of people money back in New Zealand. I got a lot of people that messaged me.
A lot of people money.
People like, "Bro, I'm going to bet on you every time now." So, hey, when I win, we win. So I'm happy.
And I mean, it's mixed martial arts. It's not kickboxing. It's not wrestling. So, there's levels that you have to be at to compete in the sport. And of course, you showed that against Rogerio Bontorin earlier in the year.
Yeah, exactly. It's mixed martial arts, and you got to be well-rounded. When things don't go to get to the game plan and to plan A, you got to have things ready to implement later on. So I showed that in that Bontorin fight. In this Cody Garbrandt fight, I showed just my composure, not getting too caught up in the moment. Obviously, a lot of eyes on me. A lot of people kind of overlooked me and just thought, "Oh, Cody's fighting. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a knockout." But they forgot about who he was fighting, and that was me. And I trained hard for that fight. I was focused. You could tell fight week that this is the energy I was bringing to the cage, and he was too busy trying to fight everyone else. So when I stepped in there, I was just calm, present, and I just knew exactly what I needed to do. And eventually, I found my timing, I found my range, and then I found the shot that hurt him. And then you saw my experience there. I wasn't getting too emotional, too excited. Seeing the finish there, I just took my time, placed my shots, and then eventually, we found the targets, all accurate. Every shot landed flush, and Herb Dean had seen enough. So I'm going to continue that momentum into this next fight. Just work on things, keep upskilling. But one thing I do always bring to the table is my conditioning and my fitness. I don't neglect that. I use that as a weapon, because that gives me all the confidence when I step inside the ring. I know that I don't get tired. I know that this guy won't be able to outwork me. So that's wrestling, is who can scramble the most and who can outwork the other guy. So I'm confident. Like I said before, I haven't really taken a rest. I just ran a marathon, and I've been running hills and biking pretty much all the way through the holidays. So coming into this camp, already fit, already got a good base. So we just build off that. So bit busy year for the gym for City Kickboxing. I'll be jumping back into camp where the boys will be kind of finishing off their camps with Israel, Carlos and Blood's all finishing, getting ready for their fight in Houston. So it'll be good energy to go into. These guys will be sharp, fight ready, pretty much. So I can use that as momentum and springboard off that into my, I guess, 10 to 8 week camp. So there should be a few more on this card with me in March. I'm not too sure yet. Could be Shane, could be Brad, could be Dan. Alex has got a fight early March, so maybe some more boys on that card. But yeah, it's good for the gym just to stay busy, just to do what we keep doing, which is fighting, putting New Zealand on the map and making heaps of people money.
I just want to go back to that marathon. When you say you run a marathon, was it something that you signed up for, like an organized one, or did you just run a marathon for fun?
No, like I the thing that's got put that into my head was Jordi, the fight dietitian. He's getting ready for an ultra marathon. So in the lead up to my fight on fight week, this guy was running marathons around our hotel. Like he ran around the hotel 150 times, and that was equivalent to a 42K marathon. So I was like, man, this guy's not normal. But I love that energy. And he did that on fight day. He got up early. Him and Dan, I think Dan ran half a marathon, and then Jordi ran a full marathon, 42K. So after that, I was like, oh, I want to give that a try. So I built that up to that. I did 2 half marathons, and then I rested for a few days, and then I felt, I'll just do it today before Christmas, make some room for some food. So yeah, I just ran around my block 7 times, and it equal to be about 42K. So it's just good to kind of know it's all mental once you get past those barriers, and that's what I can relate to in fighting. I want to find those dark places. I want to find those uncomfortable places and get used to being there. And in the fight game, and when you're fighting the best in the world, you need to make those places home, and that's the kind of championship mindset you got to have. So I'm willing to do that on my off season, on my off time, because I know that's going to make me a better fighter, a better person, and just get used to that feeling. I don't want to have that be away for too long, away from the ring, and forget that feeling. So it just kind of ticks things over. So then now we're starting the camp. I've already, been working on the base. So then we just hit the ground running now. And like I said before, my weight's pretty light. I can make flyweight next week if I have to. That's how light I am at the moment. So yeah, I'm ready just to go, and 7 more days, and then I get to go home and at least enjoy this win with my friends and family. It'll be my son's first birthday, Feb 14, Valentine's Day. So it'll be nice to be home and celebrate that. And then just continue like normal, back in the gym, soak up a bit of this New Zealand summer that we've missed. Been getting a bit of FOMO, seeing all the cousins up north coming off the boats with all the crays and the powers and the oysters. So I definitely want to get up there for the weekend before this camp starts, and then we'll get stuck in.
How was winter Christmas? I mean, you're in Hawaii, and from what I saw of your photos and stuff, it looked pretty nice over there. I kind of forgot that it was meant to be winter when I saw all that.
Yeah. No, it actually was. It was cold in Vegas when we were there. That we had Christmas Day in Vegas, and then a few days after, that's when we flew to Hawaii for New Year's. So it was nice. It was nice to be over there. My first time there. My son's favorite movie is Moana, so he was buzzing out. He loved it. He loves the beach. So that's why we wanted to be somewhere close to the beach, because we had a room booked for MIQ. So we wanted to, I guess, make the most of our time overseas, but be somewhere nice where we can feel comfortable. And we had a nice resort as well. So yeah, it was cool. It did rain a few days, so we were looking back at our friends in Valley back now. I was like, oh damn, I wish we were back in New Zealand, but no, it did clear up. And Hawaii is beautiful. If you've ever been, or if you ever want to go, definitely put on your bucket list, because the water and the waves, like we're on Pipeline, which is one of the most famous beaches for big wave surfing. And the level of respect that I have for surfers that go out there, like pretty much you don't know if you're coming home. Like that's how big these waves are. You crash and you could be paralyzed. That's how big it is. So it was cool to see that up close. The food, the culture, and just nice to be just be normal, not around all these lockdowns and restrictions. Over in America, it's pretty much normal. So like we said before off camera, I'm pretty lucky to get home without any COVID cases and testing positive, because you have to test 48 hours before your flight. And obviously there's no restrictions in America. So this new strain's been going around. So lucky enough, we dodged a bullet and tested negative and able to board our flight. If we didn't get on that flight, we would have been stuck in America for months. Obviously, New Zealand's still using MIQ, so you can't come home and just self-isolate. You have to go through the hotel. So I'm pretty much straight on the phone to New Zealand Sport when I got to my room saying, hey, I need a room booked for March for this next fight. So this time in MIQ has kind of given me a bit of downtime to kind of catch up on things. My new house is nearly finished now, so obviously working out all of the stuff that comes with all of that, as well as sorting out. When I went over to Vegas, I didn't know how long I was going to be there for. So now I know like when I'm going to be home, so I can start to organize my year and suss out where I want to be and what I want to do, and the best way to do that is stay active. So once I get out of here, I'll be moving into my new house, and then I'll be straight back into camp. So best way to do it is just to get back to it.
Sport New Zealand have been helping you guys out with MIQ nowadays.
Like they've been really helpful with me for my last fight. They got back to me straight away and they locked it in. So I'm hoping same for this fight. Such a big fight, number one contender. The UFC is such a big sport and such a big brand and worldwide. So I wouldn't see why not. They wouldn't give us a room. So yeah, hopefully it all works out.
So man, and just lastly, you've got this number one contender fight. The title's on the line in a couple of weeks. Who would you rather fight, Figueiredo or Moreno?
I definitely want to fight Moreno. I want that rematch. I want to, show everyone how much I've evolved since that fight. And I want to put them away. I want to show that there's levels to my upgrading and my development. And I just want to silence a lot of people because they keep bringing up that fight saying, Brandon Moreno's got his got Kai, he owns him. But, people that watched that fight, it was a close one and it could have gone either way. So now just more confident in myself, when I step in the ring, having all this experience now, having, I guess, that pressure off me from trying to hunt for a finish, now just letting it kind of happen. So it's just different, but I'd love that rematch. I'll be watching that fight very closely against Figueiredo. There's another flyweight fight happening this weekend against Brandon Royval and Bontorin, so another good fight that I'll be watching. And it's going to be a great card for Izzy Whittaker. I don't see it going any other way but the first fight. Whittaker's obviously improved since then, and he's done what a lot of middleweights haven't done, which is, I guess, admitted that the better man won that night, not make excuses and say it was a weight cut or, saying the judges are biased or whatever. Like, he's just admitted saying, oh yeah, better man won. But that makes it for a more exciting matchup because now, he's got more momentum now with Whittaker being on a bit of a streak, and Izzy obviously doing what he does and taking out everyone. Obviously had the hiccup with going up to light heavyweight, but I don't see Whittaker doing the similar thing that Jan did to Izzy and just laying and praying. Whittaker isn't that big of a person to just be able to lay on him, so I feel like he won't be able to keep him there if he does use his wrestling. I think Izzy will be too slippery and too slick to stay on his back. But yeah, that's an exciting fight, as well as Bloods and Carlos getting back in there. Bloods' debut, Carlos's comeback. I've seen they've been training all the way through the holidays, through Christmas and New Year. So yeah, they're looking in good shape, and they're in really good spirits. So yeah, that's going to be cool to to see them all on the same card together, and start the year off with a bang and get three wins for the gym.
So, man, well, I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your stay in Christchurch. Hopefully it doesn't drag on too much, and Kobe keeps you entertained at least.
Yeah, bro. I think I've got to go back to Moana now.
Well, enjoy.
Ciao, brother. Appreciate it, man.